My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my ranking of the Final Destination franchise from worst to best. And this video will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But let's begin by talking about the worst one, and unfortunately, it's the brand new Final Destination Bloodlines, which is also the best reviewed movie of this franchise by a mile. But what can I say? I really do not like this movie. The opening is great. I do like the old aesthetic of it. I do like how things escalate to the song Shout. And it managed to be funny, it managed to be tense, it managed to be unnerving, it managed to be brutal, and I just thought it was a great start to this movie. But as soon as that opening scene ends, the movie just takes a nosedive in quality. Like, I know this franchise isn't known for its acting, but the acting is especially bad here, and I thought the characters were so unlikable, so annoying, and just so terribly written. This is also the longest movie of the franchise, and I definitely felt it. Like, this movie was a real drag. Its cheeky sense of humor didn't really work for me, especially some of the fan servicey jokes. But most importantly, I thought the death scenes were pretty underwhelming. Like, okay, the glass in the drink should have been straightforward. Like, that could have been a really great moment, but then things just escalate to the point where it becomes a generic lawnmower death. Then we get the tattoo shop scene, which I didn't like. Like, his piercing gets stuck onto this chain. I never watched the trailer, so this was my first time watching this moment, and I was very underwhelmed. Then you've got the garbage scene, which was pretty forgettable, and this movie relies on people getting crushed too often. All of the death scenes looked too familiar, and that's not even the first time I've said this for a 2025 movie about death, because I had the exact same issue with the monkey. Um, then we get the MRI one, which was kind of brutal, but I don't think it was as good as it's been hyped up to be. And the final one, I don't even remember. Oh no, wait, the climax one I don't remember. The final one is the train and the log truck. So I don't know, I was pretty meh on the death scenes here, and the CGI is so bad, and I'll say that about a few of the other movies, but here it just doesn't fit the tone because it's going for a more sentimental feel. So the CGI really sticks out like a sore thumb. So great opening. I kind of liked Eric in the second half of this movie, but and Tony Todd's final scene was kind of surreal, but everything else in this movie I just hated. The second worst one is going to be another hot take, but it's Final Destination 2. Like, that opening scene with the log truck is iconic. And I don't mind the elevator death. I don't mind the scene where someone gets impaled in the vehicle. But I don't know, this movie just feels really dry and generic to me, and I found it to be a real drag. It's it peaks early and the rest is kind of whatever, so I've never been a big fan of it, so that's why it's my second least favorite. Now, the rest of the movies I like, so keep that in mind when I say the fourth best one is Final Destination 3. And I find this movie to be very frustrating because I do think Mary Elizabeth Winstead gives the best performance of this franchise. I love the roller coaster opening. I love the walkout kill. And I think the tanning bed scene is one of the greatest kills in this entire franchise. And I love the cut to the funerals afterwards. But the second half of this movie is a real drag, and I feel like it's utterly lacking in interesting kills, though. And I like the idea of the photos reveal who's going to die next, but in its execution, it just feels really generic. So there's things I like about this movie, especially considering the fact I'm terrified of roller coasters, but the second half drops the ball. The third best Final Destination movie is the original, and it set up this perfect franchise where you get these death scenes and you're on the edge of your seat. What's going to happen next? Is the person going to get killed by this or by this? And it constantly keeps you guessing, and I think there are some interesting scenes here. Like the person getting choked to death by the cord, the vodka on the computer, and the knives. That's actually one of my favorite moments of this franchise. You've got the climax, which is quite exciting. And I feel like I'm forgetting. Oh, the scene where the girl gets hit on the street. That scene is so funny. And I do like how, because this is the first movie, there's a certain sense of intrigue and mystery that the other movies just don't have. But I still find it to be quite dry at times, and it needed a bit more energy, a bit more personality, but it's still a good start. Now, my second favorite movie of this franchise is going to be the hardest take because it's the Final Destination. And I don't really get why this movie is as hated as it is. Yes, it's filled with terrible 3D gimmicks. And yes, it has some atrocious CGI, but it kind of fits the tone for this movie because this is the first one that goes for a more comedic approach, and I think it works. This movie manages to be gross and nasty, but also really funny at times, and it makes for a refreshing watch, especially when you're 4 movies into this franchise. The scene where the guy's getting dragged down the street set to why can't we be friends? Like, I laughed. I also thought the race car opening was pretty exciting. The car wash scene is very tense. The pool scene is just nasty. I like the climax with the escalator and the movie theater. And I don't know. I just really enjoy this movie. I really don't think this one deserves all the hate. I appreciated its attempt to do something different, and it mostly works. So that's why it's my second favorite. But my favorite is Final Destination 5. And this movie also has bad CGI and terrible 3D effects, But once again, it fits the tone for this movie, and I think just like the fourth one, this movie manages to be really funny at times, and really gross and nasty. And tense. I feel like these two movies that I've just mentioned strike the perfect tone for what these movies should be. They've got energy, they've got personality, and I think there are so many great moments here. Like that opening scene on the bridge is legitimately great, and you've got some of the best death scenes in the entire franchise here. Like, as someone who has thought about getting laser eye surgery, that entire moment is so unnerving and just horrific to me. Like, it really gets under my skin, but that gymnastics scene and the way it goes on and on and on, it's so uncomfortable. There's also that one scene where someone dies in the shop, so there are some great scenes here. And I also like the fact that they added in the dynamic that if you kill someone, you get to live. So it makes for a unique and entertaining climax. And the ending to this movie, where it connects to the first movie, like, it seems so simple on paper, but in execution, it actually added quite a bit. So yeah, like, I think this movie is just really entertaining. It's tense, it's bloody, it's nasty, it's gross, it's unnerving, it's funny, and it's just one of those movies I could watch in any mood. So that's why it's my favorite movie of this franchise. But what's your ranking? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin, out.